Dolgellau, see below, is a market town in Gwynedd, northwest Wales, lying on the River Wnion, a tributary of the River Mawddach. It was the county town of Merionethshire before that became a part of the county of Gwynedd. Dolgellau is the main base for climbers of Cader Idris. History and economy. The area upon which Dolgellau stands was, in the pre-Roman Celtic period, part of the tribal lands of the Ordnance, who were conquered by the Romans in 778 AD. Although a few Roman coins from the reigns of Emperors Hadrian and Trajan have been found near Dolgellau, the area is marshy and there is no evidence that it was settled during the Roman period. There are, however, 3 hill forts in the vicinity of Dolgellau, of uncertain origin. After the Romans left, the area came under the control of a series of Welsh chieftains. Although Dolgellau was probably not inhabited until the late 11th or 12th century, when it was established as a serf village, possibly by Cadwgan-ap-Leddon, it remained a serf village until the reign of Henry Tudor. A church was built in the 12th century, although Cummer Abbey, founded in 1198 in nearby Llanelty, remained the most important religious centre locally. Dolgellau gained in importance from this period and was mentioned in the survey of Merioneth ordered by Edward I. In 1404 it was the location of a council of chiefs under Owain Glyndŵr. After a visit by George Fox in 1657, many inhabitants of Dolgellau converted to Quakerism. Persecution led a large number of them to emigrate to Pennsylvania in 1686, under the leadership of Rowland Ellis, a local gentleman farmer. The Pennsylvanian town of Bryn Mawr, home to a prestigious women's liberal arts college, is named after Ellis's farm near Dolgellau. The woolen industry was long of the greatest importance to the town's economy, and by the end of the 18th century, output was reckoned to be worth £50,000 to £100,000 annually. The industry declined in the first half of the 19th century, owing to the introduction of mechanical looms. Another important contributor to the local economy was tanning, which continued into the 1980s in Dolgellau, though on a much reduced scale. The town was the center of a minor gold rush in the 19th century. At one time the local gold mines employed over 500 workers. Clogow Street, David's Mine in Bombdu and Nilfanion Mine in Galwood have supplied gold for many royal weddings. Dolgellau was the county town of Merionethshire until 1974 when, following the Local Government Act of 1972, it became the administrative centre of Merioneth, a district of the county of Gwynedd. This was abolished in 1996 by the Local Government Act 1994. Today, the economy of Dolgellau relies chiefly on tourism. Although agriculture still plays a role, a farmers' market is held in the town centre on the third Sunday of every month. It is believed that Dolgellau Cricket Club, created in 1869 by Frederick Temple, is one of the oldest cricket clubs in Wales. For nearly a century Dolgellau was the home of Dr. Williams School, a pioneering girls' secondary school. This was funded from the legacy of Daniel Williams, the Welsh nonconformist of the 17th–18th century. History and etymology of the name. The name of the town is of uncertain origin, although Dol is Welsh for meadow, and Gellau means grove or spinney, and is common locally in names for farms in sheltered nooks. This would seem to be the most likely derivation, giving the translation meadow of groves. It has also been suggested that the name could derive from the word cell, meaning cell, translating therefore as meadow of cells, but this seems less likely considering the history of the name. The earliest recorded spelling is Dolgellau, although a spelling Dolgellau dates from 1285. For then until the 19th century, most spellings were along the lines of Dolgellau, Dolgelli, or Dolgelli. Thomas Pennant used the form Dolgellau in his tours of Wales, and this was the form used in the church registers in 1723, although it never had much currency. In 1825 the registers had Dolgellau, which form Robert Vaughan of Gwynedd.It adopted in 1836. While this form may derive from a false etymology, it became standard in Welsh and is now the standard form in both Welsh and English. It was adopted as the official name by the local Rural District Council in 1958. Shortly before the closure of the town's railway station, it displayed signs reading variously Dolgellau, Dolgellau and Dolgellau. Education. Dolgellau is home to a bilingual further education college, Coleg Merionethshire. The site it occupies was originally home to Dr. Williams School, a direct grant grammar school for girls aged 7 to 18 established in 1875. It was named after its benefactor Dr. Daniel Williams, a nonconformist minister from Wrexham, who also gave his name to Dr. Williams's library in Euston, London. The school closed in 1975. Dolgellau Grammar School, a boys' school, had been established in 1665 by the then rector of Dolgellau, Dr. John Ellis, at Pen Bryn, before moving to its present site on the Welsh Pool Road. In 1962, it became a comprehensive school under the name Ysgol y Cader. It has approximately 310 pupils and, according to the latest inspection report by Eston, it has a GCSE pass rate of 75%, which puts it in joint 11th place in Wales, and makes it one of the best-performing secondary schools in Gwynedd. There is also a primary school, Ysgol Gwynedd.Dolgellau, which is under the voluntary control of the Church in Wales. Literary connections. Near Dolgellau is the house of Gwynedd.It, whose 17th-century owner Robert Vaughan kept an extensive library. This was home, among other treasures, to the Book of Taliesin, the Black Book of Carmarthen, the White Book of Rhondda and the Gwynedd.It manuscript. In 1971, John Elwyn Jones, a retired teacher who had taught Russian, German and Welsh at Dr. Williams School, published Pumsynigai Jimro, an account of his time as a prisoner of war in Poland during World War II. The title of the book refers to the 5 attempts he made to escape, the last of which succeeded. The book was dramatized by S4C in 1997. In 1986 and 1987, John Elwyn published his autobiography in 3 volumes, called YNFY for the FY Hun. These do not duplicate his prisoner of war adventures, but recount his upbringing in the area. He was born at Bryn Gwyn, less than a mile from the town, and subsequent return to the area after his years in the armed services. He died in September 2007. The modern Welsh writers Beth and Gwan near Medi live in the Dolgellau area. Marion Eames, who was educated at Dry Williams School, lived in Dolgellau up to her death in 2007. She is probably best known for her book, The Secret Room, a semi-fictional account of the events leading up to the 1686 emigration of Quakers from Dolgellau. It was dramatized by S4C in 2001. Local attractions. The surrounding area is known for its wild but beautiful countryside and places of historical interest. It is popular with tourists who enjoy activities such as walking, hiking, horse riding, whitewater rafting and climbing. Dolgellau is the main base for climbers of Cader Idris. Aircraft enthusiasts also used the town as the base for the Mac Loop. The Great Western Railway line from Rwybon to Llangollen was extended via Corwen and Llanuwchllyn to Dolgellau, where it formed an end-on connection with the Cambrian Railways line from Barmouth Junction, and a shared station was opened there in 1868. The Ruabon-Barmouth line was closed in the 1960s under the Beeching Acts. The railway line was converted some years ago into the LLWYB Mawddach, which now runs for some 8 miles from Dolgellau to Morfa Mawddach railway station, near Fairbourne on the coast. It is maintained by the Snowdonia National Park and is very popular with walkers and cyclists. It passes some estuarine areas that are important for water birds. The site of Dolgellau railway station itself, along with approximately 1.5 miles of former trackbed, was used to construct the Dolgellau bypass in the late 1970s. Historical attractions, apart from the town itself, include the 12th century Cummer Abbey, a short walk from Dolgellau. The Tourist Information Centre also has an exhibition on Quakers, and there is a Quaker graveyard in the town. A field known as Camlan in nearby Dinas Mawddach has been claimed as the site of the last battle of King Arthur. Dolgellau is a good centre for visiting a number of nearby narrow-gauge heritage railways, including the Corris Railway, the Fairbourne Railway and the Talyllyn Railway. Cultural events. Since 1992, Dolgellau has held SESIWN annual World Music Festival. Originally free and held in the streets of the town, it has now grown too big from the centre of Dolgellau. Since 2002 it has been held on the outskirts of the town and admission is charged, which has allowed the organisers to book such acts in recent years as Bob Geldof, Jenna Droog, Karis Matthews, IWCZ Oil, Max Stevens, Super Furry Animals and Goldie Looking Chain. It attracts crowds of up to 5,000 every year and claims to be one of Europe's biggest and best world music festivals. Since 1995 it has been broadcast live on BBC Radio Cymru and since 1997 on S4C. In March 2009 it was announced that there would be no SESIWN in 2009, owing to debts of over £50,000, mostly the result of a wet event in 2007. Smaller musical events took place in pubs, etc., but the future format of the festival was put under review. The festival returned on a smaller scale in 2011 and has been organised annually since then. Every summer, Dolgellau is also host to the Gwynedd.Dolgellau Lad, a mix of agricultural show and fete. Entry is free, but the money raised on the various stalls is given to good causes. In 1949 Dolgellau hosted the National Eisteddfod. In 1960 and 1994 it hosted the URDD National Eisteddfod. Twin town, Dolgellau is twinned with Gwynedd in Brittany. Notable people: Sir Cadwallader Bryna Jones, agricultural educationist, was educated at Dolgellau Grammar School. Welsh darts captain and 2014 World Masters champion Martin Phillips was born in the town. Rally driver Gwynedd Evans, winner of the 1996 British Rally Championship, operates a car dealership in the town. Rally driver Elfyn Evans has competed in the World Rally Championship for M Sport World Rally Team since 2014. Geography. Gallery.